There are only a handful of moments in history where suspects succeeded in outplaying the police at their own tactics. From clever escapees to civilians who humiliated officers so badly they were forced to walk away, here are 5 occasions where suspects outwitted cops.
I promise you I'm not no damn prison escapee.
You'd have done run by now.
Starting with the case of Joshua Lloyd, who in July 2022 was geocaching in Phoenix, Arizona. Geocaching is a hobby where individuals hide physical containers called caches in various locations worldwide, and others solve clues to locate them. Joshua was searching along the side of a public road, but it appears someone wasn't too pleased about it.
Oh, hold on. We got the cops. They're gonna run my license plate. Morning, can I help you?
I don't know, can we help you? Do you live here?
No, but this is public, correct?
I'm not sure on that. Could be private property.
Could be, but if there was, I do believe there would be a sign posted somewhere, right?
Not necessarily. Is that your car?
That is my car.
Okay. Well, if it is public...
I mean, I would figure it's public. You have electric access here.
Is there anybody in the car?
No, just me. But if you want to go check, go ahead, go check.
Can I get your permission to do anything else?
No.
Do I need your permission?
You would need my permission to go inside the car.
No, but you just said if you want to go check if there's someone else in the car.
Yeah, go check and you can go look in and see if...
Go ahead. Do I need you to tell me to go ahead to do it, or can I do it on my own?
It seems this officer isn't having a good day, as he jumps into an argument at the very first opportunity over nothing. He's correct that he doesn't need permission to check inside the car, but Joshua is simply trying to be respectful. There's absolutely no reason for the cop to complicate the situation. His short outburst feels almost driven by insecurity, and as the footage continues, that behavior becomes a recurring pattern.
Well, I mean, you could do it on your own. You can do a plain view search.
Okay. I thought you were under the impression you had to give me permission.
I mean, would you guys like my name? I'll give you my name. You don't have to run the plate for it because my name's not on the plate.
What's your name?
My name is Josh.
Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Josh what?
Lloyd.
Hey, Phil.
Joshua Lloyd.
Huh?
Joshua. You're not towing my car.
We may have to tow it. It's not registered to him. It's registered to a female. It's it's left on the roadway running. I'm not going to leave it here.
Oh, are you serious? Not even going to question me on who it's registered to? Would you like the insurance and registration?
No, you're not driving it. Why would I ask for...
It looks like this officer is trying to turn everything into a bigger issue than necessary. Sure, it might seem unusual that the car is registered under a different name, while a man appears to have been standing by a wall for 30 minutes. But we know Josh has a logical explanation for it, just as the police would if they cared to ask. Instead, the officer chooses what he thinks is best: tow the vehicle and contact the owner, rather than simply speaking to the man who is clearly saying he can clarify everything.
I'm going to try and get a hold of the owner, see if they know where the car is. Otherwise...
She'll tell you that her son-in-law has it. You're gonna let him act like that. Just because I'm standing over here next to a wall, and you guys haven't even asked me what I'm doing. I even turned around, I gave you the thumbs up. He comes out all hard. Why? I'm not trying to catch you in anything, man. Asking a simple question.
The other officer's smirk says it all. He clearly knows his partner's behavior is unreasonable and downright odd, but at the same time, he can't openly criticize him either.
Have you been allowed to use the car?
I live with her, yes, and I'm allowed to use the car, hence the reason why I have it.
Okay, all right, well, we're going to do some research, find out whose property that is. You got your name, your information. If it turns out that it is private property, then I'll author a report for trespassing.
I don't think it would be private property because what I was doing was a public event. So you guys never even asked me.
Listen to your statement. I don't think. That's why I'm going to find out for sure whose property.
Okay, you go ahead for sure.
Again, here's the thing. I don't need your permission to check out whose property it is, but I appreciate you giving me the go-ahead.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? Your card?
8632.
8632.
You're recording it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? All right. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
The way the second officer behaves after his partner leaves is almost like he's brought his child to work, telling Josh to just let him have his fun. Regardless, the first cop informs Josh that they're going to leave and do some research to confirm whether the area is private property. But even if it were, it would be extremely difficult to convict him of trespassing. As seen in the footage, the patch of land he was on is directly beside a public sidewalk with no signs indicating it was private property. And And even if it were, the absence of signage means Josh would have no way of knowing he wasn't supposed to be there, making it impossible to argue he knowingly entered private land, the legal requirement for trespassing. But before letting the officers go, Josh has just one more thing to say to them.
I could do some further research before you go on a property, find out.
You know, hold on. Before you go and give me the lecture, how about this? Before you come up all hard ass on somebody, you ask them what they're doing. You could ask me simply at the very beginning, very nicely, hey, what are you doing?
Do the research and find out whose property you're on, because you may be breaking the law.
It's public property, I can tell you that.
Stating that as a fact.
I am. I'm stating it as a fact because I like fucking with you guys.
Well, now you're using more profanity.
I can use profanity. It's the First Amendment.
No, you can't.
It's the First Amendment. You cannot restrict my speech. I can use it to emphasize my sentences. One man's curse word is another man's lyric.
Josh explains everything flawlessly and, of course, is absolutely correct during the entire encounter. He handed over all the information the officers requested and more, stayed respectful through most of the exchange, and most importantly, understood the law perfectly. Yet despite all of that, he was still mistreated by this officer, who clearly had no clue what he was talking about. He's entirely justified in pointing out his free speech rights too. But to break this down further, let's look at the case of Tom, a teenager who completely schooled two officers when he was pulled over by cops who also had no understanding of the law. This man was walking along the side of a road when a police officer drove past. The man flipped him off, breaking no laws in the process, but the officers still took it personally and chose to respond like this.
Why you giving me the finger? What? What's your problem? What? Why you giving me the finger?
I'm walking away.
Huh?
Am I free to go?
Why you giving me the finger?
Am I free to go?
No. Come
For
here.
what reason?
The man, who we'll call Tom, is pulled over for supposedly giving an officer the middle finger. Right after speaking with the cop, Tom asks if he's free to leave, and if not, why he's being held. As expected, the officer fails to provide a solid answer to either of these entirely reasonable questions.
What's your problem?
Am I free to go?
No.
What, do you have a problem?
No.
You have a problem?
No.
You don't have a problem, then I can leave.
Why you giving me the finger when you're walking? Huh? Come here.
I'm free to go.
No,
Walk
you're
the
not.
walk.
Get over here.
Why?
Because.
Is that a lawful order?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Because you're giving me the finger.
That's legal.
No, it isn't.
Says who? What's the law?
What's your
What's
name?
the law?
What's your name? How old are you?
Conveniently, it isn't hard to look up the law on this. Unsurprisingly, contempt of cop or showing disrespect toward police is a very common trigger for unlawful arrests. However, it's simple to prove that cursing or making a gesture at an officer in a non-threatening way is entirely legal across the US. Freedom of speech is, of course, safeguarded under the First Amendment, and courts have ruled that giving the finger qualifies as protected expression. In fact, in 2006, a case was brought against a man in a nearly identical situation, and the court clearly stated that showing the middle finger to an officer is protected speech under the First Amendment. This means Tom was completely within his rights to flip the officer off. But unfortunately, the encounter starts to escalate as more words are exchanged.
Have a good one. Fucking pig.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
What?
You heard me.
Come here.
I'm afraid of you.
Come here. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's not
Turn
a
around.
crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me. Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a fucking crime.
Yes, it is. Why are you cursing me?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
Help! Help!
No help.
Help!
At this moment, the officer shuts off his body camera, which besides being unlawful, is certainly not the smartest move while dealing with a civilian yelling for help. This time, the cop points to Tom's more recent profanity as the reason for arrest. But once again, Tom is entirely permitted to say what he said. The law states the only speech not protected by the First Amendment are fighting words meant to provoke an immediate breach of peace. Or in short, language that directly threatens someone or suggests the speaker is about to physically attack. Clearly, Tom's remarks fall into neither of these categories, and as backup arrives, the officer begins to realize he may be in the wrong.
You're being detained because you're acting strange.
What? That's not legal.
It is legal. He's allowed to
Who is
detain
this
you
kid?
until he did. performs his
So what am I doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal right?
Every time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and say, "Well, you're
Is that a crime?
problem?" And then he
That's
tells
not,
me to
no, that's not a crime.
F off, big.
Yeah, fuck off, big. That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the fuck you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights. I don't have to say any of that.
You do if you're being detained.
For what reason? What legal reason am I being detained for?
Where are you coming from and where are you?
What legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
Now, the officers insist that Tom is legally obligated to identify himself since he's being detained, despite failing to give a reason for the detention. While this is often true during an arrest, in New Jersey, someone detained but not suspected of a traffic violation can legally refuse to provide identification. The officers, however, are still far behind on this. At this point, they can't even determine why they're holding him.
Why are you
Shooting me the finger.
Why are you?
Is that illegal?
Why are you flipping the bird? Yes, it is. It's causing a public disturbance and a public alarm if you are cursing.
So
in
a
public.
single one.
So when you are cursing in public, you are causing a public disturbance. You're being a nuisance to the public.
I'd like to see you guys prove it in court.
That's what he is doing. He's not saying you're being charged with anything. At that
I'm
point,
just
he's
figuring out
detaining
what's wrong with you.
to make sure that there is nothing wrong.
Make sure you're okay.
Make sure that you're okay.
What reason does he need to detain me?
He thought maybe he thought you were signaling him down. I'm not sure.
You knew very well that I wasn't signaling to you, right? I wasn't signaling.
Well, you bring attention to yourself.
That's not signaling.
You're acting strange. I'm making sure you're okay.
The officers are now scrambling to come up with excuses, even going so far as to claim this was a welfare check, and that Tom's middle finger was actually a signal for help. Fortunately, a case decided in 2013 dealt with this exact issue. An officer saw a man flip him off and pulled him over, saying he thought the man was trying to get his attention and he was concerned. The court ultimately ruled that this ancient gesture of insult is not the basis for reasonable suspicion of a traffic violation or impending criminal activity. With that precedent, it's highly likely a court would determine the officer here was lying as well, even without body cam footage. But the best part of this whole encounter is watching the cop's expression as he struggles to climb out of the hole he dug for himself.
Cursing and using vulgar gestures is
So what's
causing
the First Amendment for?
It's causing a public disturbance.
What's
and
the
public
First
alarm.
Amendment for?
The First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to do with
Was I
using
making a call to
gestures?
action? Was I making a call to action? Was I like
When you were
threatening
acting-
you in any way?
what are you
Did I
talking
threaten
about?
you?
Do you
You
understand
know what a
your-
call to action is?
Do you
It's
understand that you're
called cursing.
acting-
Is that a call to action? Am I calling for an action to be done against you? No.
Do you understand that
bringing
it is?
attention to
Listen,
yourself and
listen,
getting
listen, listen.
That's not legal.
It's behavior that's out of the ordinary.
Which one was it?
So what
'Cause
were
now
you
you're-
doing?
Well, I want to know from your perspective. What
I
was I
pulled up
doing?
onto the scene, so you tell me what you were
To
doing.
bring you attention.
I plead the fifth. You fucking idiot.
What had now devolved into a heated argument dragged on for several more minutes before Tom finally caved and handed over his ID, after which he was immediately told he was free to leave. It's important to note he was never legally obligated to identify himself, but doing so was the only way the officers decided to let him go. Tom also made it clear that he intended to take legal action, though very little public information exists regarding that or the outcomes for the blatantly corrupt officers involved. Both of these situations showed individuals who understood the law flawlessly and successfully defended their rights against abusive policing. But now, let's flip the perspective and examine criminals who were so clever they managed to outwit police using crafty methods and street smarts. One such example is Quantrell Schwartzlow, who managed to outmaneuver officers by escaping custody in mere seconds. Quantrell was taken into custody for choking a girl and attacking her, an offense he clearly had no intention of being found guilty of.
Oh, no.
Sadly for Quantrell, his handcuffs were an obvious giveaway, and he was caught 4 hours later. Naturally, this isn't the only instance of detainees slipping away from police custody. In fact, Richard McNair's breakout plan was so clever he stayed free for 18 months, though not without a dangerously close call. Richard was first arrested for shooting 2 men after being caught burglarizing a home in North Dakota. One victim was severely hurt, while the other died on the spot. Richard was sentenced to 3 life terms for this, but he had no plans of sticking around. In 2006, he pulled off an escape by hiding inside a stack of mail and getting carried straight out of the facility. However, only hours later, he was stopped by officers while casually jogging away from the prison.
You live around here, buddy?
No.
Where you live at?
Down the road by Pineville.
Pineville?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have any form of identification on you?
No, man.
What's your name?
Robert Jones.
Richard comes across as relaxed, composed, and self-assured while speaking with the officer, offering the harmless alias of Robert Jones and claiming that he's simply out for a jog near the area where he's posted for work.
Problem right now. What's your address?
I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on houses and stuff like that. We're open.
What is? We got an escapee.
Oh, shit. Where from?
Prison.
There's a prison here?
Richard likely assumes the game is over, but he keeps his composure and maintains a relaxed demeanor. He offers a straightforward, neutral reply while keeping his posture casual to avoid seeming nervous. The officer then radios in for a precise description of the fugitive and tries to compare it with Richard.
You're how old?
50. I was born in 56.
You said born in 56. 58. What colors you got?
Green, well, kind of a turquoise blue.
Turquoise blue.
In this scenario, most individuals would likely become uneasy and respond with brief, guarded answers out of anxiety. Yet Richard somehow delivers complete responses to every question and even cracks jokes with the cop. Bit by bit, he works to persuade the officer that he's just an ordinary man with nothing at all to conceal.
You know the bad thing about it?
What's that?
You're matching up to him.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even know the address. We just got into town about a week ago, and he dropped me off to jog. I always jog about 12 miles a day.
Where'd he drop you off at?
Up there on that road by, there's some construction going on up there, some houses. And he dropped me off. He'll be back to the hotel in about probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Where are you from?
We're originally Dallas, Texas.
And what's your name again?
Jimmy Jones.
This really should have been the end for Richard. He provides a totally different name from his original alias, yet the officer somehow completely overlooks it and proceeds on as if nothing is wrong.
Put yourself in my position. Where's y'all's motel at?
Okay, Walmart's right there. Go right at Walmart, and there's a road, 165, that goes south. Little old tiny hotel. I mean, it's clean, but it's family owned.
Little old tiny hotel.
Yeah, you know, like a motel deal. You park up there. I promise you, I'm not no damn prison escapee.
You'd have done run by now. You know that yourself. Did you see anybody or anything?
There's some kids up there playing. I'm sorry to have to hold you up, but
Hey, no, I'm just doing my job, man.
I know you are. Can
know.
you write down your phone number, your cell phone number, so I can have whoever call you?
Just call 911 is all you got to do, and they'll get a hold of us.
All right.
That's our quick line there.
Have a good day now.
Be careful, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
That was the last sighting of Richard McNair for 18 months. While on the run, he used stolen vehicles and supplies to travel from Louisiana all the way to Canada, where he nearly purchased property and even tried to settle down. In October 2007, he was finally located and arrested in New Brunswick after being spotted driving a stolen car far from where it had last been reported. Despite being a convicted murderer, Richard undeniably played his cards well, managing to outwit not just this officer, but countless others for a year and a half. The cop who let him slip away must have felt utterly humiliated.